Hello and welcome to Nerdy Gaming with Rabbit Beaver. I'm your host, the elusive Rabbit Beaver, and today we're going to be talking about N64 stuff, some game cartridges, some game finds, shopping on a budget, where you can find a good system, all that good stuff. I hope you guys stick around and join me today as we are out there looking for some good stuff for you. So, as it says, hello, how are you doing? Representing the Golden Child today, Evan Golden out here. But we are going to be talking about the Nintendo 64 and all the stuff that comes with it. So I actually picked up one pretty cheap today on a budget. I actually found it on Marketplace. And I would encourage each and every one of you guys, if you guys are out there looking for a good system, just talk to the people and find out what you can get from them and all the information you can get from them for the systems as they come through, because it does make a difference on what it's got, whether it's got a jumper pack, expansion pack, yada, yada, yada. And we'll get into that here in just a little bit. So, I picked up one with a generic controller today, but it had an official Nintendo Rumble pack, which was really interesting to see. And I did get just the original gray console is what I picked up. The original charcoal smoke gray, but it had a bunch of goods, bunch of case candy in with it. I did just have the original jumper pack on the inside. Didn't have anything fancy there. The official Nintendo power supply was involved in it. And then I got two sets of the Nintendo AVI cords, the audio video cords with it. And they were official links from Nintendo. So I thought, well, maybe one of them's bad, but that was not the case at all. They actually both were pretty good and both actually performed really, really well. And I got some games today as well. Picked up some games on a game find, and we actually picked up a lot of games today that is just 100% interesting to see how we've done this and how we've gone through. So let me just start off there. Let's start off with some of the games, and I'll show you what we got, how much they are going for. Now, I'm going to be going over two different pricing systems and pricing guides for these games because they vary so much depending on where you're at in the country. And I want you to show you that East Coast versus kind of West Coast versus kind of up here where I'm in Tennessee. So I'm kind of East Coast as well, but I'm not really in the Midwest, but I'm not really in the deep South. I'm just somewhere in between. So I'll show you all that stuff and kind of tell you what you can expect to pay for some of this stuff. So up first today, we've got Doom 64. And I don't know if you can see it, but man, this thing is immaculate. So it was very well taken care of. I picked this up in a pawn shop today, and it was a fairly good price. So I paid about $25 for this. And I thought, well, man, I'm just paying over retail for that. And I don't know if I'm going to get my money back out of it or not, but I'm going to try and see if we can definitely get our money back out of it. So I went over to East Starland, which I'm going to show you right now. Boom, East Starland. So it varies in price between $38.13 and $71.95. And that is the difference between used no case, no manual, which is $38.13, just like this, to used case with manual and used case and manual. So with the game, with the cartridge directly. And then I also wanted to double check just to make sure that my pricing guide was actually going to be correct. So I went right over here to Lukey Games, and on here you can see the cartridge only originally is $69.99. They've got it on sale for $52.97, just the cartridge by itself for this game right here, Doom 64. Boom, just like that. So it varies depending on the shape, what the pins are, how the motherboard is, if there's any writing, scuffing, damage on the back side, which I didn't show you that, but the back is beautiful on this thing. Back is definitely taken care of. And this thing was really just a case kept baby. It was one of the ones that was actually really good. Still got a little cleaning on it. And this actually has a marker number of 20. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that marker number is the number that it actually came off the line for this specific one. This was number 20. So that's pretty cool to see that it's a low number in the run come out as well. And that's pretty cool, dude. I mean, I really enjoy seeing all that good stuff exactly as it pops up and goes through. Let's get back up here to the just chatting screen. The next one's going to be Mission Impossible is what I picked up. Now, this one has a little bit rougher scuffing around the top and around the bottom. It was not in the best of shape. The pins, don't know if you can see them or not, but there's a couple missing on the bottom there. And on the top, I don't know if you can see it, but there's one missing on the top, but the game plays. It actually works. It actually did really, really good for what it was. So this one's a little bit in rougher shape, but we're going to check it out and we're going to see what eStarland says first about this game. So this game is $8.98. I paid $5 for this game. So I was under retail on this by $3 and some change, $8.98. And that's just the game by itself. That's not with a manual or anything. And it doesn't have a price for it with the manual here. But if we go over one more to Lukey Games, they're saying it's $11.47 for the cartridge only right here. $11.47 for the cartridge only. So we're still in the positive on this game, man. We've still made great money on this game. The next three we bundled together for $20. So I'm going to tell you that up front. These were $20 a piece. So that's a crazy good deal for these. So we've got Toy Story 2. Make sure I've got the right one popped up here. I don't want to lie to you. Toy Story 2 here. So this is the one that we bundled in for $20. Now this is immaculate on the pins. I don't know if you can see them, but the pins on this bad boy are immaculate. Just phenomenal. There is no wear or tear on the back of this at all. The front is in great shape. It's been very well kept on this game. So Toy Story 2 will retail at eStarland for $16.93. No case, no manual. Right here, used. No box, no manual. $16.93, guys. So, and like I said, I bundled all three of these games for $20. So a little over $6 roughly for all three of these games. Maybe just a hair under them just to be safe. But right around there, a little over $6, $6.50 for all three of these games. And man, that's a great pickup there. And then if we go over from where we're at here and check it out on Toy Story 2, this is cartridge only, $28.47. $28.47. So that's a big pickup there if you consider the pricing guide that we're going by, full retail versus what they're wanting to give you for just partial retail. That's a pretty cool thing, man. I mean, I can't complain on that. That's a great pickup today for Nintendo 64 and everything that goes along with it. Our next game on the buyer's guide is going to be, I've got it mixed up here. Let me find it real quick. Boop, boop. You're moving here and you're moving here. Is going to be Cruisin' USA. Now this one is immaculate on the pins, but the case is in very rough shape. You can see it's got some spotting and pitting where it's been picked up and moved and cleaned. And it has some yellowing on the bottom side here, which I don't know if you can see that or not. And the pins on this one are great. I mean, it just looks great on this one. And it's got some damage right here on the side. Like it looks like some gooey stuff is right there on the side. So it needs to be cleaned. It needs to have the old clean in brush go through it and have it taken care of. But man, that's awesome. Awesome find on this. So like I said, these three were $20 together, all together. So, and let's find out through eStarland what we've got here. So with eStarland, the Cruisin' USA Nintendo 64, used no manual, no box is $19.18 today. $19.18 just from them. So let's go right here and check it out right there. Includes cartridge only. Cartridge only is $24.97 through Lukey Games direct right there. So, I mean, I'm giving you the pricing guide, guys. It's just freaking amazing to see that you have actually made value in your money just by doing this. Now, they all have to work. That's the thing, is all of them have to be able to be plugged in and work and turn on in order for you to get the money out of it. Also, there's a little trick that you could do if they don't turn on, and I'll tell you that here in just a little bit as well. Let's move forward. So, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, that's not the right one. That's not the one that we were going for next. But that is on the list of things here. I've got to find it. Here it is, guys. So actually we got Star Fox 64, which was bundled with that. Yeah, and this is amazing. Now this did come with the Rumble Pack, baby. So, and it came with the Nintendo Rumble Pack. And as you see, this backside is a little bit rougher, but all the pins are there. But man, this thing is gorgeous. It barely been played, barely been touched. It has a little bit of scuffing up here on the top and a little there on the bottom, but this whole thing is just beautiful. And even the PCB board down here has not yellowed to the point of dying yet. Like, it was barely played. This one was barely played, and it's in great shape, immaculate shape, immaculate condition. And on the live scene here, we've got Star Fox 64, and it says it's used normally between $28.57 and $51.95. That's complete in box versus just used no manual or used with a manual. And there is a variation of this Star Fox as well with the Rumble Pack. And I do want to show that to you as well, because I did get the old rumbly here with it. So if it comes with the Rumble Pack, it's normally between $90.97 and $129.95 if it's complete in box versus only having the game in the Rumble Pack. So that is a big plus there on that side. But there's another site here we've got to look at. So, and like I said, I bundled all these three for $20. So it's on sale currently for $44.94. It's normally $69 originally right here. And that is cartridge only. So only the cartridge, this bad boy right here, just the cartridge by itself. You can find it. You've got it. Make some money on it. Get you a good sell. Find it for cheap. Find it on Marketplace. Find it in the pawn shops. Find it in these places where people are just trying to get this stuff out of their way and out of their inventory, because you're going to be making value and you're going to be making money on this stuff. That's what you want. You want to be able to make money on all of this stuff each and every time it's out there. And so you got to find it. We've got two more games on the list today, and I believe we've already went over that one, and this one is going to be next. It's going to be the Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, guys. Now, this one's rough. The back has been really tore up. It looks like they put a sticker on it, like a price guide sticker, and somebody tried to put like another one over here, and this one's been traded a lot, and it's got a lot of discolorization on the actual case art there for it, but the case is beautiful besides those three spots there. This one had a lot of sun. It was sat in the sun for a while. It is missing a pin on the inside of the top pin's gone, but it does work. You have to slam it a little bit, but it works. The whole game works. I've already tested it, went through everything. So let's go and see what that is going to be worth today. So currently through eStarland, used no box, $12.68. That's no box, no manual, no nothing. Well, no box is $12.68. Used no manual, no box is $9.17. So I got this one for about $10. So I paid a little bit more than what they're asking as far as retail goes on it. But we'll see what Lukey has on it. So cartridge only includes $13.97 currently on sale, and it's only the cartridge is all they're selling for $13.97 for this bad boy. So I mean, I kind of paid in the middle between them, the $10 for this, but you know, depending on which price side you go and where you sell it in the country, you can make the extra money out of it. You can get your extra money out of it for full retail, as long as you know what you're doing, you know what you're putting your pricing out there for, and you know what you're looking for the future on these games, and you got to make sure that they work. And I told you there's a little trick, and we're going to get to it after this next game. I'll teach you some stuff here. We're going to be teachers today. So our last game on the list tonight is going to be WCW versus NWO Revenge. And I played this one a while when we got it home. I went through and looked, made sure this case has just the start of flaking right here along this line, and just a little at the top there, but otherwise it's in immaculate condition, immaculate shape. The case is hard. It's very close together. It doesn't look like it's ever been opened, and all the pins on both sides are here. So that is a huge plus for this game. And it's just wonderful the way that it works, the way that it's ran through. Let's head over to the live scene. We'll check out what the pricing guide is on it. All right, cool. So we're right here with used no box, $15.71. Used no manual no box, $12.57, according to eStarland. Once we get through here and take it over to Lukey Games, this is the cartridge only, $24.97 is what they're selling it for. So you can expect between that price that I just gave you, the $12.57 with nothing as it sits, and $24.97. You could price it somewhere in the middle and get your money back out on it, and also have a good time with yourself doing that. So that's a pretty cool thing, man. I've really got to say that. And then the system I picked up, I paid $70 for today, plus the price of games. So this NWO Revenge was $8 is what I paid for it. And everything else here has just been awesome, man. I mean, I haven't really paid a whole lot of money for anything. Some of this came with the system itself. There was 2 games that came with the system itself, so I really didn't have to pay any extra money. It was just the $70 on it. And I also have some other stuff going on with it. But let's talk about these games real quick. So let's say you have a game just like this, the NWO Revenge, and your pins have gotten to the point to where they're so bad that it won't play. It won't play anything, or it overheats, or it shuts itself down. It just will not play at all. Well, there's a little code on the front of these. So there's 2 of them. It'll say model number, and it'll have like NUS-006. Then in parentheses, it'll say like 01. Then in another set of parentheses, it'll say USA. And then right under that, it'll say NUS-NW2E-USA. And all you have to do is find one that matches that. If you can find one that matches that number set that's on the bottom of it, if you can find it at all, the NUS model for any of these games whatsoever. So, and it doesn't matter what game it is. If it's a sports game and you don't play it, like this is an NUS-006 and it matches on Toy Story, you can actually remove the game, whatever game it is. NWO Revenge is what we had. Let me pull that back up. You can unscrew these 3 screws or 2 screws, depending on if it's a 2 screw or a 3 screw. Screw that out, pull the actual cartridge and the case cover out of this, unsolder the board and the resistors and whatever, and that motherboard on the other game that matches, boom, 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 Toy Story 2 here, you can replace it with that PCB board as long as it's a better board, has better pins, better things for it. Now, that does require a little bit of work. It requires you to unsolder both sets of chips on the board. That's the actual GPU chip and the game itself. And then if it's got extra resistors or if it's got a capacitor or anything else, you have to unsolder all that stuff and put the right ones with it so that it'll work. But once you get it resoldered back into the new board and you know exactly the position that it was in coming out versus going in, you can actually keep your games running for a long period of time and just put them back in the same case. Keep the same heat sinks and put them back in the same case. I mean, that's a cheap and easy way to fix all that stuff and to make that stuff run through and be more viable for you. I'm sorry I had you on the games page there for a minute, but that's just a quick way to fix all that stuff and to make it what you need it to be for the future. So that's some pretty cool stuff there, guys, that we've gone over today. And let me head over to the live scene. I'm actually going to have to cut this off, and we'll try to see if I can get this bad boy back up. We'll see if it comes up for us. Let's drop this one and turn this one on, and we'll see if we can get one of these games to plug it and play for us to show you what we got. Now, I slammed that. I know I did. But it should be coming in shortly. That's blue, so it's not going to do it there. Of course, it's not going to work. There it is. So had to kind of resettle it. But you can see the game will work as long as you got everything settled there. It's going to work for you. It's going to go through. Now, it's looking for my TV currently, which I'm about to switch over to my HDMI source here. But it's currently looking for my TV so that we can go through there and see what's going on with that. Oh, it froze. She froze. Let's try it again. Kind of sucks when you're live trying to show stuff and it starts jacking up on you. There we go. So as you see, it's working. Just had to take it out and move it around a couple times. That's just a sign of the game's getting old. The pin's starting to get old, starting to wear a little bit. But as you see, it works. Everything works with it. So you're catching all of it. And you're getting the volume from not only me, but the game itself. So that's pretty cool. Let's just keep it at that. So that's awesome. But there's some other stuff that you can do to kind of upscale it. You're actually kind of seeing it a little bit upscaled through my capture card. And that's because I bought one of these bad boys for it. Now, I got this on Temu while they were selling it, and they had it about 6 months ago. But this is an N64 to HDMI converter. It's made in China. I actually bought it for like $1.99 whenever it came out. And it works great. Works great on the GameCube. I've used it on the GameCube a couple times. Works really good there. And I've got an old school one where you can plug the red, white, and yellow audio adapter in the living room. And it's plugged to my PlayStation currently, but I can use the same thing there for that. I can plug it directly in and use it as an HDMI converter, and it works really great. So I don't really have, you know, a whole lot of problems with this system working through and moving. So we just, of course, it's not going to work for me for you guys live for some reason. It just does not want to work. But as you see, the games are just starting to get a little old from being pulled in and pulled out. But man, I mean, everything is working. This is Toy Story 2. We've got a lot of good stuff tonight going on these games. So, of course, you got to enter the Rumble pack. There's no controller pack attached, so you won't be able to, yeah, I know, yada, yada, yada. Let's get on to it. So as you see, the games actually load up. They work. So this is pretty cool that it's going through and doing this. So I can't say enough about this. I've got $110 total in on this system, and I've probably got $300 worth of value to the right collector currently. And that's pretty cool, man, that you've made money. I feel like I've made money even though I haven't done anything. I feel like I've made money and we're going through. And as you see, I'm using my controller here. So this is me whenever we go through. You can see what's going on there. But that's pretty neat. That's some extra neato stuffo, guys. And I'm playing over You Got a Friend in Me, hopefully, if it's still playing, because I can't hear it on my side. I can hear it over here. It is. It's You Got a Friend in Me. So, but you can see, like, all this stuff is pretty cool. So whenever you guys are out there and you're in the world and you're looking for Nintendo stuff, you're looking for Nintendo 64 stuff, just make sure you look at the pins. Make sure that the pins are in good shape before you buy it. The consoles, it's going to be kind of hit or miss. They're getting to the point to where they're so old that you can still get them repaired. You can still get them fixed. You can still go through them. You can actually region free them. You can buy trays for them for this nice little slot to region free them so you can play some of the Japan games inside of them. But yeah, I mean, and it's dirt cheap. You can get them between $4.97 and about $20, $22, somewhere around in there. Sometimes a little bit more, just depending on what brand. But if you get them on AliExpress, I normally don't like to give them credit, but if you get your stuff on AliExpress there, you can find it between $4 and $20 and shipping, cost of shipping to have it sent to you. So you can get some good stuff for the Nintendo 64. This controller here actually came with it. It's not a original controller. It is a Chinese controller made by iOS is who it's made by, which is the company that is partnered with Old School. And I believe they partnered with Mad Catz for their last controller, their air controller that they did, which was kind of neat for the Pacific game that they did on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. That was the last one, the last title that they kind of did that with. So it's not the best quality, but it's definitely something that if you're just trying to play and have fun, it's going to get you there and you're going to get the most out of it. The stick is actually in pretty good shape. This stick is actually really good. But these D-pads, it takes a while to get them used to. The C buttons stick sometimes, but other than that, man, I mean, it's just a controller to get you there, get you going, get you working. And of course, we can't mention the Nintendo 64 without mentioning the accessories that you're going to have in order to make sure that you're going through. Now, the Rumble Pack came with this for $70. This is a $30 to $50 piece, sometimes more, depending on where you get it for. Now, you can get a third-party one for like $10 to $20. But this is an official Nintendo one that actually came with the Star Fox game. And I mentioned that earlier, but you also need to get you one of these little bad boys, which is a memory card. There's 256 slots in this memory card. I paid $4 for this use. It does have some pin issues on the top, but it will read and it'll also go through. And the way that you put it in for this, if you're not familiar, is you don't do it face up. You turn it over and do it face down. And this one goes directly in. You push it in until you hear it click, and then when you want it out, you push the button and pull. So it's a two-hander job there to get everything out. And same thing with the Rumble Pack. As soon as you see it go in, so you just slot it in, facing with Nintendo, the Nintendo logo here, into it, slap it in, and it's good to go. When you want it out, you push the button on the bottom and pull, and it comes directly out. So that was one of the things back in the day that you had to buy all your accessories for it. And there's more. They actually have what they call a jumper pack, a precision pack and a jumper pack. It's actually a rumble pack and a memory card slot holder all in one. And it was really popular, made by Mad Catz and also made by Performance Gaming Systems, which is where this is made by, Performance Gaming Systems. And you could actually hook it in and push it in and let it roll together. So that's one of the features that you can get for this system that's going to be rolled through. And then there was tons of accessories and tons of things that came out for it for different games. Like Hey You Pikachu had a microphone that was available for it if you did the Dance Dance Revolution craze, which really got popular during the GameCube series. But the Dance Dance Revolution stuff, they started putting the mats and stuff out for them. Mario Party, different games of Mario Party had different things that you had to do with the controllers directly. And one of them even had like its own little special microphone and stuff for it. So, you know, it's just pretty neat to see how this stuff has come full circle and come full around, and everybody is trying to collect this stuff now. And it doesn't matter where you're going. So I do want to tell you this though, guys, if you guys are out there in the world and you're looking for a console, you can trust the big box stores to a point. And what I mean by that is people that rhyme with Shmi Cape Oldies, if you know who I'm talking about, that have some guy named Tandy or Randy who does boxing episodes for them. Sometimes that stuff is in good shape and sometimes it's not. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, because a lot of these times, whenever you start looking for consoles and you start looking for the systems themselves, yeah, they're going to be expensive. You're going to have some that, like, we're going to go to Lukey first. I'm going to go to the live scene. I'll show you Lukey. So this is, I forgot that I had that up. Give me just a second, guys, because it's up here. It's up here somewhere. So we're going to put the display capture back on. There we go. All right. So you can see right here. Apologize about that, guys. That's my fault. That's just me being a Dumbo. A Dumbo. You can see right here, like some of the original systems will be like $79.97, but you're not getting an official Nintendo controller, and you're also not getting an official Nintendo power unit, a power source for it. So a power supply, I should say. And so that devalues kind of the system. And then you've got specialty systems. You got like the Jungle Green, the Ice Blue. They made a bunch of these, the purple, the Indigo Ice Blue, the Indigo Grape Purple, the orange. The Fire Orange was the most rare inside the system besides the gold. So the gold and the Fire Orange were pretty rare. And then they did specialty systems like Hey You Pikachu, the Pikachu and Pokemon systems that were out there. But you got to watch what they're selling you with some of these, because yeah, like these are coming with the jumper pack in them, right? The Jungle Green console, the Smoke Gray console, and the Watermelon console. And this Hey You Pikachu is coming with the RAM expander. They're all coming with that. But what else are they coming with? Are they officially licensed Nintendo controllers? Are they officially licensed Nintendo AV cords? Because some of them aren't. So you got to watch out for that whenever you're looking, because you're paying big money for this stuff, whenever you can just go on stinking Facebook Marketplace or eBay or shopgoodwill.com or somewhere like that, and you can pick the system up for pennies on the dollar and get everything that you need and then some, and it will be a good working system. Also, we need to mention that if you do buy something and you're having trouble with it, it may take it a little bit of time to recognize. Like I pointed out that I bought this HDMI adapter for it, where I can just plug my HDMI cord in and plug it into the back. So the Nintendo 64 is in 240 and 480i is what it outputted in completely at the very end. And so your games that are only outputting the 240 and 480 may not work on your new TVs without the adapter, and it may not even recognize them for a little bit of time until you either remove the jumper pack from the front or the expansion pack and put it back in. And that's what I had to do to get mine to work today. So I couldn't get it to work on the TV that we're currently using to play these games on. But I had to do that. That's the only way that I could get it to work on that TV, is I had to pull it out and put it back in and let it reformat the system and reformat the cache in the system so that it would output to the HDMI port directly that I've got connected into it in the back. Well, it's not an HDMI port. It's a N64 connector port to HDMI. But that's what I had to do in order to do that. So you need to know that up front. And then whenever you're looking for some of this stuff, like the Toys R Us units, the gold units, and the Japanese gold units for Toys R Us, they're always going to be the most expensive because they only made, I think, 500 total, and there's only known to be 34 left in existence that are out in the wild. 34 are left out in existence. So when they say rare gold for 425, they're really literally talking rare gold for 425. The fire orange system would probably be your next one that you're going to see be a little bit rare in the next coming years. You're going to see that one kind of dwindle down. Now, they made a couple thousand of these fire orange ones. So, and they've got a couple variations of the color because some of them look more red than orange, as you can see in the pictures here. One is orange, one is still orange, but it's a little bit darker orange. So they had a couple variations in the coloring of those consoles, and a lot of it had to do with how it was boxed and shipped and where it went. Some of these places displayed these consoles out and put them in the windows, and they got that sunlight and that light exposure, and it actually faded them over time. And then people, of course, whenever we're talking about a system that's almost 30 something years old now, people had them in their house by their windows, on their entertainment centers, different places like that. So, you know, whenever we're talking about looking for this stuff, that's what we're looking for. And you can find, dude, I threw trash for a long time. And while I was throwing trash, I used to come across at least a system a week where somebody had thrown it away or thrown it in the garbage. And we would try to restore it and try to make sure that it was taken care of and put through and fix. You know, we try to fix it and resell it. And sometimes we were successful and sometimes we weren't. It just depended on if it got the leche or the water damage on the inside of it. Sometimes that water damage is hard to come back from, but people just give up on their consoles way too easy, especially something like this. They don't think it has any value or any resale value. And as you see, I mean, my God, it does. There's stuff out here that has resale value. The complete systems in the original box, $422.95. And this is just on Lukey Games. I mean, if we go to DK Oldies, DKOLDIES, we're going to hit that up. And then we're going to search over here under Nintendo. We're going to go to 64. We're going to go to systems. Now it's going to show you like direct from DK Oldies, the BK Oldies. Look, so with the HD pack 204, 309, 254. And like I told you, you need to make sure it's all original equipment coming with this, with the converter. Now, this one had a converter in it. Looks like it's got an HD pack, HD converter pack in it that you can plug your audio video cables in. Like I've got an old school one out there. You can plug those audio video cables in and then plug your HDMI and port it to the back. And I mean, but you can see like these things are holding their value pretty good, pretty steady on this line and on this front. The Jungle Green one, of course, Jungle Green came, and the Banana Yellow as well came with Donkey Kong. The Banana Yellow game is what I'm talking about. It's the Banana Yellow game and the Jungle Green console. They also had the Smoke console in it, and they had this Clear Oyster Blue console with it. And as you see, if you want different games for the pack, I mean, you can get it. You can get whatever you want. But these things are freaking holding their value, homie. I mean, crazy. Look at the pricing. Just look at the pricing on this. And then you can do the console only, which is acceptable for $64.99 is what they're saying. So if you already got all your accessories, all your stuff for it, you can get it directly there for a good price. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that they're able to do that, but you got to kind of be leery of when they start doing stuff like this. See, look, N64 player pack gold, $199 for the console by itself. The acceptable pack is out of stock, of course. I mean, but whenever you're dealing with a big box store company like this, they take a lot of stuff in. You just got to make sure that it's going to be maintained very well. And it's hit or miss. Everybody's going to have bad stories about places where they bought stuff. This orange Pikachu is the junk, dude. The orange system sells for boo-koodles of money. Boo-koodles of it. Everybody normally gets this blue one, but the orange one was the one that everybody wanted. The Danny Hawks edition. Now, I've only seen this like twice. And this one's running for $254.99, but I saw one sell for about $375 a couple years ago at a old boutique store. The guy got what he wanted out of it, but he had everything with it. He even had the controllers with it, the Orange Path controllers. So that's pretty cool to see that they've got all that stuff, man, eligible and ready to go. And look, they've even got more, man. If you go to 3, you can get which this is the system that we had when I was growing up, the angry player system, as I saw, the Atomic Purple system. Is what it is with that Atomic Purple controller. That's the one that we had. We had that Atomic Purple, dude. So that was pretty cool back in the day. But, everything runs full circle. You get to see stuff. You get to do stuff. And like I said, just don't be fooled, because you can find these consoles. You can find these games. You can find a lot of stuff on Goodwill, dude. Shopgoodwill.com. You can do all your auction and bidding there. Now, it is an auction site, but you have the buy it now option for shopgoodwill.com. You can find that stuff directly there. You can go to eBay. Of course, eBay is an auction site as well, that you have the option to do buy it now stuff as well on there. You can go to, like I said, DK Oldies. You can go to East Starland. You can go to Lukey Games. You can go to retrogames.us. I mean, you can get involved in Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, and also the N64 Collector's Guide and Collector's Club, which would be a great place for each and every one of you guys to go to get involved in buying and selling these consoles and everything that come with it, because you never know who's going to have that one game that you're looking for. Like, hey, dude, there's a Batman game that's out there that's got the Joker on the box. I don't even know what it's called off the top of my head, but the game is stinking amazing. I played it as a kid. I just can't remember what the name of it is, and I can find it. Let's see. Batman. 64. See if it pops up here. Yep, there it is. It's Batman Beyond: The Return of the Joker is what it's called. That was such a good game. I remember playing that as a kid. Let me put it on the screen for you so you guys can see it too. So The Return of the Joker is one of those games that I remember playing as a kid. Also, the Indiana Jones game that came out for this. Oh, dude, Indiana Jones was the junk. INDIA. It should pop up if they've got it, but it may take me a while to find it in their long list of games here. Right here, the Imperial Machine. This was an awesome game back in the day too. It had a lot of good stuff with it. The expansion pack wasn't needed for it, but man, it was a great game. I'm about to sneeze. I'm trying not to. But it was such a great game back in the day. I remember running through that a couple times and playing through it, renting this game and playing through it. And then there's some games, of course, that you're not going to have a total fun with at all. And they're going to be hard to control, and they're just going to be stupid, but you're going to have some fun playing them. So you definitely just want to try to do the hit or miss on some of these games that are coming out. And you can see, like, this one still holds its value, $119.99 if you can find it. And that's just in used condition. That's the cartridge by itself. That's not including complete in box. So you guys got to just know that going into this, that sometimes you're going to pay a little bit more money, and some of these games are just going to suck. But I think we've done pretty good overall today. And I think that's going to conclude our show for the evening. But before I go, as you see right under there, hit like, follow, and subscribe if you learned anything, or if you like what you saw today with Nerdy Gaming with a Rabid Beaver and a Rabid Beaver live streaming. I host Wrestle Talk with a Rabid Beaver, which is just about everywhere other than iTunes. If you guys like wrestling, that's what we're representing the Golden Child, Evan Golden, today. It's his day. So I just want to give him a shout out. Evan Golden, thank you so much for being a part of Wrestle Talk with a Rabid Beaver, making us viable and actually doing the good things that you do for all of professional wrestling wherever you're at. And he's going to be on the I Still Believe and It's Still Real to Me podcast on December the 11th. So that's going to be a Wednesday, about 9 p.m. Eastern time for River City Media Productions. If you guys want to catch that, that'd be a great place to do that at. And we have Wrestle Talk normally every Tuesday and every Thursday. This coming week, we've got Ice Cream Truck from the School of Morton's going to be there. You guys definitely don't want to miss that if you guys are into that stuff. So thank you guys so much. Remember to hit that like, hit that follow, hit that subscribe. And we will see you on the next episode of Nerdy Gaming with Rabid Beaver. N64 finds on a budget, PlayStation 3 finds on a budget, Xbox 360 finds on a budget, Xbox finds on a budget, basically gaming finds on a budget, baby. We'll see you right back here, same bat time, same bat channel, the next time we do this. See you later, guys. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.